Welcome back to the wide world of pronouns. Today we're talking about pronouns, two different types. We're going to squeeze two different types of pronouns in here. And we're talking about demonstrative pronouns and interrogative pronouns. So let's jump right in with demonstrative pronouns. And Mama always said, baby, it's not polite to point. Unless, of course, you're using demonstrative pronouns. And then, well, it's pretty much okay. As you can see, here are your demonstrative pronouns. This, that, these, and those. Only polite to point when we're using these specific pronouns. Look at our samples down here at the bottom. This is the house where I live. The subject of this sentence being used as a demonstrative pronoun is this. Second sentence says, that is where I grew up. Again, that becomes the subject of our sentence used as a pronoun, demonstrative pronoun. And the last one says, I would like one of those. So that would be used as a demonstrative pronoun as well. Next, we're going to talk about interrogative pronouns, those question pronouns that we have. Yes, I'm talking about 5. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, not 6. That's 6. We're only going 5 on this one. 5 interrogative pronouns that we're going to look at. The first one is what, as you can see down here. What? As you can see down here in the example, what happened to the cookies? We also have who and whom. Not to be confused with each other down here in the second example, you can see Joe told the joke to whom, and need to know when to use who versus whom. We'll talk about that in just a second. The other one is whose. This is showing ownership, and the last one would be which. And I don't mean like Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter with the pointed hat. Our last example down here, you can see the subject of our sentence is who saw what just happened. I saw it. I was there. I was okay, moving on. And now for a couple of rules that you need to remember, particularly when these interrogative pronouns such as who come in, like trying to figure out which one to use, who versus whom. And what we need to know is that who is going to be used, let me put another arrow right here, and who is going to be used as a subject-style pronoun or subjective pronoun. This is coming before the verb and is going to be the subject of the verb in that sentence or that particular clause. All right, and then moving over to whom, this is going to act just like an object pronoun that we talked about in the personal pronouns, and it's going to act just going to take the job of just about everything else. Direct object, indirect objects, etc., etc. So, know the difference between who and whom, and one being subjective and the other one being objective. And certainly last but not least, the whos versus whos. Yes, like I'm in a Dr. Seuss nightmare, who's and who's your little who's it. And so the difference here that we need to remember when trying to decide which one of these is the appropriate one to use, this whose versus this whose. The whose on the left here with the apostrophe is nothing more than a contraction for who is. All right, so the who would be your subject and is being your helping verb or perhaps your linking verb in the particular sentence or that clause. And moving over to this whose, this simply shows possession, just like a possessive pronoun. All right, as in whose keys do these belong to? There you go, folks. Quick and simple demonstrative interrogative pronouns. Check that one off. Oh yes, we're done.